Welcome to our virtual wine and jammies. We had to, Esther is visiting family, so far away across the country from me, and I miss you, but we had to hold an emergency wine and jammies session.
Yeah, we're gonna wait till I get back, but it's too long from now.
Too much. I mean,
so much to talk about, so little time, but speaking of being with family, I'm currently in an SDA household. So today I'll be drinking from, if you could see this, Welch's sparkling cider. If you know, you know, and if you don't, well, we'll talk about that in another video.
Yeah, that's another video. So I'll be drinking some good old Cabernet. So cheers.
Cheers.
So okay, let's get into the Oscars. I mean, that was a very eventful night. Outside of the most eventful thing to happen in an award ceremony that I've seen in a long time, there was a lot that happened. What did you feel watching the Oscars?
I mean, you know, I haven't missed the Oscars for years. Like, that is my show. Whether it's exciting or boring, I'm like front and center. And of course, I was very excited to see Regina Hall and Amy Schumer and Wanda Sykes. So 3 women hosting. I was very excited for that. So it had a strong start.
How do you think they did hosting?
I think Amy Schumer surprised me. She got a lot of great jokes. There was only one uncomfortable skit with Kirsten Dunst where she pretended she was a seat filler, but then later on found out that Kirsten Dunst was part of that joke. So I love Wanda Sykes and I love Regina Hall, so I expected more from them, but they still did awesome. Regina Hall had me cracking up. I just felt like her skit with the COVID test and her being single, so she was really pretending to like get people back stage to take the COVID test, but it was really because she's single and the guys are hot and she just wanted them to herself. Yeah, but where she went too far was she started patting down Josh Brolin and patting down Jason Momoa, and that made me uncomfortable. And I really hope they were part of that skit. And it wasn't just a surprise pat down, because
yeah, that was not received well. Yeah, honestly, I really do like them all. Wanda, I feel like I really liked her jokes. I can't honestly think, there were so many things that happened. I can't even pick a certain joke that I liked, but I just remember being like, oh yeah, this is what I like about Wanda. She's just so, like, she's just fun.
She's so talented. She's so funny.
I love her.
Love it. So yeah. I just hope, even the parts I just like,
hope there were some parts where I was like, I can definitely do without the Kirsten Dunst skit, even if she's in on it. It was just so like, I don't know.
It was just so why?
It was so
unnecessary. Other jokes were so good. Why?
And it was a good joke before too, when she was like, after the clap is how it's being, or the slap, I'm sorry, is how it's being named. She had a great like coming back and she's like, hey, I was gone for a while. Like, did I miss anything? Like, that was funny, like that. Yeah,
that was so
stay with that. I don't know why we had to do the seat filler. I just didn't get it. Like, it was like,
it was just not that funny. Maybe I'm very sensitive because I've been a seat filler at an award show in LA. So I was like, what is this? This is offensive. But
yeah. No, I totally get that. It was so unnecessary. But
and Gatti, really quickly, I don't know if you've ever felt like this, but one thing I've never got about the Oscars, even sometimes the Grammys, why on people's biggest nights is this a thing to like knock them down some pegs? Like, it's like we humble them all through the year. People are constantly going after celebrities, rich people. So it's like, why on the night we honor them do we have to like make them feel bad? I've never got that. Like, sometimes, and
that's what people's excuses too, like kind of explaining like, oh yeah, well, it's normal to like bring down the Oscar nominees, which by the way, Jada wasn't even nominated. She was there to support. Well, it's like normal to like bring them down and like joke them and go really hard at them, which is like, why is that normal? Like, can we just like evaluate that? Why? Like, I feel like there are people that do really great jokes, and I will say Amy Poehler and Tina Fey are great examples. Yes, they joke about people, but it's like I feel like the way that more so Amy Poehler, because I really love her. Like she does it in such a way where it's like it's coming from a good place. I don't know. Maybe that's my bias to her, but like I just don't get why we have to be like, oh, well, I said something so rude and offensive to you. Now I'm hilarious.
Exactly. And it's like, I'm the last one usually to stick up for celebrities, but I just feel like this is a big night. And some of them actually are not even celebrities. Like they've done great artwork and then they come to get honored. And then it's like a lot of them are actually unknown, or they're known, but like unknown to the majority. And then this is the night that we get to know them, that we get to celebrate them. And it's like, why are we making fun of them when there's so many other nights to make fun of them? I've never understood that. But
I don't get it either. But anyways, there were some really great moments. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson, which they showed beforehand, but he won an Oscar for the first time ever.
I think it was the day before.
Yeah,
he did that, which I don't understand why that wasn't televised, but I know they give
leave
a
room
lot.
for nonsense is what they do.
One more thing about the nonsense before we get to the actual, that's another thing. Okay, why are presenters getting more time than people who won the awards? And at least the hosts are usually funny, but the presenters, it's always some awkward bit. It's rare where it's funny. So why? Okay.
Yeah, I know.
So what else stuck out to you?
It was really great moment.
Yeah. Before the big thing, what was like, sorry, go ahead, please.
Yeah, no, it's all right. There were great moments. I mean, Ariana DeBose from West Side Story won, and I believe she's like the first queer woman of color to win supporting actress, which was huge. And she's gorgeous and super talented, and I hope many great things are going to come for her. There was other great wins that happened. I mean, before we get into it, but Will Smith won his first Oscar ever, which is crazy because I feel like there's so many like he has had so many acting jobs that he deserved to win,
like that day. So I was in the car with one of our other sisters and our mom, and we were just listening to the Will Smith book, and then we kept pausing to say, I hope he wins the Oscar tonight. It's been a lot of time in the making. Like we were just so excited. Unfortunately, it was very overshadowed, along with other people's wins were overshadowed. But at the end of the day, I'm so happy he finally got his Oscar. And
I know. So, I mean, I think we should just get into it. We've already touched on it so much. Chris Rock says a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith. A part of his bit, he made a joke beforehand, and then he made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith. Will Smith gets up, slaps him on the face on television, on live television, and then starts cursing. What's your reaction?
Okay, so when I was watching with Abigail. We'll have her as a guest on the show one day. First, I thought it was a part of the joke because he's walking up there. Will Smith is laughing. Chris Rock is laughing. Will Smith slaps him and then turns around and he I feel like I remember him fixing himself. And then the whole crowd is laughing because we think it's part of a bit. And then Chris Rock is like, Will Smith just slapped the out of me. And everyone is laughing. And I'm kind of laughing, but kind of what's happening right now? Mm-hmm. And then when you watch it live, it was muted. Mm-hmm. All you saw was Will Smith being serious and yelling something, but on TV, it was muted. And so I'm looking at Lupita's face going from to...
Yeah, reaction of the year, by the way.
Reaction of the year is the queen. I love her. And when I saw Lupita's face, that's when I'm like, Abigail, this is real. Abigail, this is real. Abigail's like, what? And I just couldn't believe it happened. And then, once Chris Rock said the documentary, which is very unfortunate that Questlove and such a great team for Soul Love, I believe it is, they were overshadowed in that moment because nobody could focus or concentrate. Yeah. But I was just telling Abigail, I'm like, I love them so much. I just wish I can take, from Men in Black, how Will Smith had that device to make everyone forget their. I was like, I want to do that to everyone because I don't want anyone to remember Will Smith in this moment. He's like just someone I love and I'm so protective of. I just want everyone to everyone's memory to be erased that this happened. And of course, Chris Rock,
he just
that's just so embarrassing. I want everyone to just forget it.
Yeah. I felt such secondhand embarrassment for just like everyone involved. And I think for me, like my instant reaction was like, this is so sad and I'm so sad. And, regardless of like what the opinions are, it was just more of like, oh my goodness, these are two very prominent figures in the Black community and have been for years. To see them both like this one making a joke about Black woman's hair, and then another, slapping him. It was just like, oh my God, it was just too much for my heart to take. I'm like, oh, like, no, I hate this. I hate this. I hate this.
It's so
I was
awkward.
so like sad, uncomfortable. I'm like, this is embarrassing for Chris Rock, like to continue. This is really like emotional for Jada to have to deal with. I mean, she's made fun of, and now her husband, like, it's too much. Will is like feeling emotional to defend his wife who's been made fun of in the past by Chris Rock. And so it was so much and so overwhelming that like my heart just hurt. It
hurt. And I was so disappointed because even though violence is never okay, or us, I even feel weird calling it violence because it's like, I don't even want to say it that far, but even though the slap, it was not okay, was not acceptable, but I was so disappointed in Chris Rock because in 2009, I believe it was, Chris Rock did a documentary called Good Hair. And I remember watching that and like loving it. Like, yes, we have this Black man sticking up for us because no specific hair is good hair. We all have good hair. And he had all these Black women speaking on hair. Even this Black woman with alopecia, she spoke and had some great words to say. So I'm like, Chris Rock knows better. Yeah. Why would he come at a Black woman in front of millions of people about her hair? So I'm like, Chris Rock knows better. Why, out of all people? Like, and I looked up to him so much because of that documentary, and I was just so disappointed. And then Will Smith has been taking it for years. And I think, not me, I didn't share any memes about Will, but I think people who've been making fun of Will when it came to the entanglement and just Jada Pinkett with August Alsina, the Tupac jokes.
Yep.
Will Smith had enough.
Yeah.
He said, put some respect on my marriage. And I just feel like everything that's been, Gatsy, did you watch that clip of the BAFTA Awards with Rebel Wilson?
Yeah.
How she was like, I just felt so awkward. Like, you're making fun of Bill in all this time, all of these people, and he's not even there. And it was just so uncomfortable. And people have been doing that and doing that and doing that. And Will Smith had enough.
Yeah.
And I just feel like for Will Smith, the person who we've been watching since we were babies, who's had this impeccable career, the anger and the emotion and the sadness that he must have been dealing with, to just not care about any of that, not care about his reputation, and to come up on that stage. I can't even imagine what he was feeling in that moment. And I feel for him. I feel for Jada. And it's just such a sad situation.
Yeah. It is really just sad all around. Honestly, it really broke my heart to see it because I love everyone involved. And, it was really surprising to see Will step out in that moment and do that because we've watched him for so long, like you said. And he's just always stayed in that professional mindset. I mean, he's been doing this for decades. So it's just like, it was so wild to see. And even every video anytime I've rewatched it, I've been so uncomfortable because I feel for Chris Rock in that moment too. Like, yes, he should not have said that joke, but like that embarrassment of like someone just came and slapped you and now it's just, I have to just continue with what I was saying. And like the fact that he was able to just keep going and just be like, okay, well, nominations are, it's just, I feel just all around. And I'm really glad Will apologized and formally apologized to Chris. I hope Chris also does apologize to Jada because Jada was embarrassed. She was the one that was made fun of in front of millions of people. It wasn't even brought out. She was just sitting there quietly. And, it was just, I feel for everyone. I really hope they make up. I really hope this is like going to be resolved and, you know, ended, and it'll be done. And I just hope we have a resolution at some point. And I just really hope both of them will be okay. That's what I hope, because I still have love for both of them.
Yeah, completely. All three involved are very beloved, and I hope that they all can come together. And what a great example that would be, you know?